Welcome students. In this video we will be doing exercise 8.2 chapter quadrilaterals. Now the first question of this exercise says that we have ABCD is a quadrilateral given. PQRS are the midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Respectively word says P is the midpoint of side AB, Q is the midpoint of side BC, R is the midpoint of CD and S is the midpoint of DA. AC is the diagonal. Now we need to prove in the first part SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. Now let's begin with the proof. We know children, parallel and half. This result comes from midpoint theorem. And midpoint theorem is applicable in a triangle. So first of all, a triangle. See this triangle ADC. In triangle ADC. Now remember what the midpoint theorem says. Midpoint theorem states in a triangle, line segment joining the midpoint of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half of the third side. So in this triangle ADC, I have S is the midpoint of AD, R is the midpoint of CD. Therefore, SR in this triangle, this side, this is the SR is a line joining the midpoint of the two sides of the triangle. So this is parallel to the third side and is half of the third side. So SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC by midpoint theorem. Next, first part done. Second part we need to prove PQ is equal to SR. Let's see. In triangle ABC, again we have P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of BC. So by midpoint theorem I have PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is half of AC. This is 2, this is 1. From 1 and 2 we get, see, PQ is also half of AC and SR is also half of AC. So I can say they are equal. From 1 and 2 we get PQ equal to SR and we also get these are parallel also. Lines parallel to the same given line are parallel to each other. PQ is parallel to AC. This is also parallel. So these are also parallel. Right? Now, in quadrilateral, see here we have a quadrilateral PQRS. In quadrilateral PQRS, I have PQ equal to SR and PQ is parallel to SR. Now in a quadrilateral, if we have one set of opposite sides equal and parallel, then we know that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So this implies PQRS is a parallelogram. So with this we finish with the third part also of this question. Now question number 2. This question says ABCD is a rhombus. PQRS are the midpoints of these sides. ABCD we need to prove PQRS is a rectangle. We need to prove PQRS is a rectangle. Now obviously we will do it by midpoint theorem. So first let us join AC. Do a construction and join AC. So construction, join AC. Now when I joined AC, I can prove PQRS is a parallelogram. Remember we have to prove PQRS is a rectangle. Now try and recall what a rectangle is. Rectangle is a parallelogram with one angle 90. So in order to prove PQRS a rectangle, I need to prove first PQRS a parallelogram and then I need to prove one of the angles of PQRS as 90 degree and then I can say PQRS is a rectangle. So first, how do we prove it a parallelogram? Remember in the question 1, we proved PQRS a parallelogram. The same technique we are going to use here also. Proof. In triangle ABC, I have P is the midpoint of AB, and Q is the midpoint of BC. Therefore, by midpoint theorem, I have PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is half of AC. This is my result 1. Now in triangle ADC, we have S is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint of CD. Therefore, again by midpoint theorem, I get SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. This is my result 2. From 1 and 2, we get PQ is equal to SR and PQ is parallel to SR. This implies, now in a quadrilateral, if one set of opposite sides equal in parallel, we get a parallelogram. This implies PQRS is a parallelogram. Now children, we got PQRS a parallelogram. Now I need to prove PQRS is a rectangle. In order to prove PQRS a rectangle, I need to prove one of the angles as right angle. So let me decide. I am trying to prove angle P 90 degree. If I have to prove this angle P90, how do we prove this angle P90? Now I need to think of this. I am able to prove it a parallelogram. Now all left in order to prove PQRS a rectangle is that I should prove one of these angles out of P, Q, R and S. One of these angles I should be able to prove it right angle. Now go back to again now given things. What is given? We will go back to that. Given ABCD is a rhombus and these are the midpoints. Midpoints we have already used in order to prove it a parallelogram. What else can I use it? ABCD is a rhombus. Now we know rhombus, diagonals of rhombus bisect each other at right angle. Remember the property of the diagonals of rhombus? They bisect each other at 90 degree. That means this angle is 90. Now if I label this, see, if I label this, see, we have a quadrilateral this, MPNO or MONP. MONP sounds better. MONP. This angle is 90. If I am able to prove MONP is a parallelogram, I'll get angle P90. And PQRS parallelogram already proved. Angle P90 will imply PQRS is a rectangle. So construction mein we have constructed BD also. We have joined BD also. So let us write down join BD. Now see, I have in this quadrilateral, I have PN parallel to AC already. See, PQ parallel to AC implies PN is also parallel to MO. Parts of parallel lines are parallel to each other. Next, now I need to prove these parallel. For this, I need to prove SP parallel to BD. In triangle ABD, we have S is the midpoint of AD and P is the midpoint of AB. Therefore, by midpoint theorem, we get SP is parallel to BD. PS is parallel to BD or SP is parallel to BD. This implies I have MP parallel to ON. Paths of parallel line are parallel to each other. This is my 4 and this is my 3. So with 3 and 4, I get it a parallelogram. See, now from 3 and 4, I get MP is parallel to ON and MO is parallel to PN. So a quadrilateral in which both the sets of opposite sides parallel is a parallelogram. So this implies MONP is a parallelogram. Now ABCD is a rectangle, is a rhombus. Imply angle 1 is 90. Let us call this angle 1. As diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So we have this angle 90. MONP is a parallelogram implies angle P is equal to angle 1 equal to 90. Opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. Now, in parallelogram PQRS, angle P is 90. This implies PQRS is a rectangle. We had to prove it a rectangle. So we got parallelogram. We got this a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram with angle P 90. Therefore, it's a rectangle. So keep the definitions in mind and the properties in mind. Now question 3. ABCD is a rectangle. It's given. ABCD, a rectangle given. Mark angle 90 immediately. These are the midpoints. PQRS, we need to prove it a rhombus now. Now remember what a rhombus is. Try and recall what a rhombus is. Rhombus is a parallelogram whose one pair of adjacent sides equal. Adjacent sides are the sides this. So that means a parallelogram with one pair of adjacent sides equal. Either this is equal to this or this is equal to this. So adjoining sides equal. So first I need to prove PQR is a parallelogram. And parallelogram, I think now you all are familiar with. You all remember how to prove it a parallelogram. Construction, join AC. We have done it, proving it a parallelogram in the first question as well as in the second question. So let us repeat those steps. Construction, join AC. Now in triangle, first I am taking triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, P is the midpoint of AB. Q is the midpoint of BC. Therefore, by midpoint theorem, we get PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is half of AC. Good enough. First part. Now in the other triangle, in triangle ADC, we have S is the midpoint of DA or AD, whatever. R is the midpoint of DC. Right? Therefore, by midpoint theorem again, we get SR is parallel to AC and SR is half of AC. Right, children? So let us call this 2. Now from 1 and 2, I'll get from 1 and 2, we get SR is parallel to PQ and SR is equal to PQ. PQ equal to SR and PQ parallel to SR. This is what we get. This implies PQRS is a parallelogram. So in order to prove PQR is a rhombus, I need to first prove it a parallelogram, which we have already done it. Now in order to prove the two sides equal, let's say these two sides I am deciding to prove it equal. Now these two sides are not the size of one triangle, they are the size of two different triangles. And if I need to prove the sides equal, the rule is I should prove those two triangles congruent of which these are the sides. How do we decide the triangles? See the side. End points we join and I get this triangle. End points we join, I get this triangle. So if I prove, children, these two triangles congruent, job done. I'll be able to see by CPCT. I'll be able to say that the sides are equal. So all we trying to prove is now we have to do is the triangles congruent. Observe if I can see the triangles congruent. Midpoint, so AP is equal to PB. Good. What else is given? Rectangle. ABCD was a rectangle, so angles are 90. Right? And rectangles opposite sides are equal, so their halves will also be equal. So let us use it. ABCD is a rectangle, implies AD is equal to BC. This implies half of AD equal to half of BC. This implies AS equal to BQ. Right? We use this, and now we will be using it in our question to prove it. Now, in triangle, I have to prove these triangles congruent. So, SAP and triangle QBP, angle A equal to angle B equal to 90. Why 90? As, because we need to write the reasons at every step, as ABCD is a rectangle. So these angles are 90. Then AP is equal to BP. Why? P is the good. P is the midpoint of AB. Therefore, AP equal to BP. Then the third part, we have already proved AS equal to BQ. You can write proved above. Now, which rule, children? By which rule we get these triangles congruent? SAP is congruent to triangle QBP. Now observe, we have this side 90 degree and we have this side. Okay, side angle side by SAS rule. It's very important to write the rule. By which rule? This implies this SP is equal to PQ. SP equal to QP, or we can say PQ is equal to PS by CPCT. This implies, let's call this 2. I have already taken 1, 2. PQRS is a parallelogram 3 and this is 4. So from 3 and 4 we get PQRS is a rhombus. See, a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram. This is proved in the result 3, and adjacent sides equal is proved in 4. So a parallelogram with one set of adjacent sides equal is a rhombus. So we have used this property, children, here. Next question now, question number 4. Now in question 4 he says, given ABCD is a trapezium with AB parallel to DC. Immediately mark in the figure whatever given. AB is parallel to DC given, marked. BD is a diagonal given, marked. E is the midpoint, so let us mark this also. I need to prove EF, and EF is parallel to AB also given. EF parallel to AB. Let's mark it with a different color. EF is parallel to AB also given. We need to prove F is the midpoint of BC. For this, what do I need to prove? I need to prove BF equal to CF. In order to prove this, it is sufficient to prove BF equal to CF. Okay. So, equality of the paths, how do we get it? Midpoint? By the converse of midpoint theorem. Right. And what does the converse of midpoint theorem states? The converse of midpoint theorem says, in a triangle, a line passing through the midpoint of one side, parallel to the other side, bisects the third side. Let's call this point P. So we will be using this result. In triangle, let's take this triangle DAB. We have E is the midpoint of AD, right? And we have EP parallel to AB. The sides are parallel. Therefore, by converse of midpoint theorem, we should have a line passing through the midpoint. I have a midpoint and the line is parallel to the other side of the triangle. So it will bisect the third side. That means we get DP is equal to BP. This is what we get by converse of midpoint theorem. Good. Now DP is equal to BP implies what? P is the midpoint of BD. Right? Now in triangle BDC, I have P is the midpoint of BD. I should have the line parallel to this, but this line is parallel to AB. So let us prove it parallel to this also. We have, let's write down here, we have AB parallel to DC given, and I have EF parallel to AB also given. So this implies all three are parallel. AB is parallel to EF is parallel to DC, right? So now we have DC, this PF is parallel to DC. Therefore, by converse of midpoint theorem, I get F, this BF equal to CF. That is, this implies F is the midpoint of BC. So this gives me F is the midpoint of BC, right? So in this question we had to prove F is the midpoint of BC. Now how do you get the midpoint? Midpoint we get by converse of midpoint theorem, right? Converse of midpoint theorem says in a triangle, if a line passes through the midpoint of one side and is parallel to the other side, then it bisects the third side. That is, it divides the third side in two equal parts. So we use that converse of midpoint. Here in this triangle ABD, E was midpoint given and this line is parallel given. Therefore, obviously P is the midpoint of BD. So I got P midpoint of BD. Now again applied midpoint theorem in the triangle BDC and got F as the midpoint of BC. That's all.